Get going now. Okay, now it's working for me. Um, right. Welcome. What can I say? We're going to have fun for the next 12 weeks, I think it is. 13 weeks or something like that. And yeah, I'm going to go easy with you on today anyway. This being your first lecture with me, and I don't want to overwhelm you by any stretch of the imagination. Now, a couple of things. I like to have videos on, obviously, because I like to be able to see your faces on my screen. I will show you at some stage my configuration here. I call it my Ardmore Cinema Studio. Um, I will play a little introduction on myself in a few minutes. But what we'll do today, we'll just briefly go through what the program is. Let me just do something else here as well. I'm going to test this recording it to cloud.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, now it is recording to Zoom. However, I don't like Zoom. I prefer MS Teams, but we'll use Zoom. I'll record to Zoom, but I won't use the recordings because the problem with Zoom is that it extracts audio and transcript files, and it causes a delay in the audio video sync. And generally speaking, the videos can be very annoying. So you can imagine now trying to watch video where the lip sync is out of synchronization with the video, or the audio is out of sync with the video. Anyway, I record in OBS. I'm using this other software which has much higher quality. And what I do is when I'm finished my lectures, I do some post-processing. So there's quite a bit of work involved. It can take it can take an hour, it can take 2 hours just to process a 1 hour video and so on. And also I upload it to my YouTube channel. Now I have a couple of YouTube channels, and the one we will be using, it's called Edulect Live 2020. And the link I will provide on your Moodle site. And for excuse me, for each lecture, you'll be able to go in there. And I do ask you to, subscribe and like the video each time you see it. This is not an ego trip. I have on my other channel, I have thousands of views on other stuff. So, but the reason is I record analytics. I get a lot of data about my recordings and the viewers and so on. So I get to see how many people are looking at the videos and how long they're spending on it and so on. So that gives me an indicator as to, how much of this stuff you're using. Now, in some instances, in actual fact, in quite a few instances over the 12 weeks, I will be giving you recorded material, stuff that I will pre-record, so you won't have to come in live to these sessions. I assume you're happy enough with that, yeah? Can you give me a thumbs up if you're acceptable to that? Yeah, very good, excellent. Now, in this recording, I don't record your all you guys on Zoom. There's no need to. I'm sure you can see each other anyway. Besides myself, what else is there of importance that I need to cover? Yeah, we'll get to we'll get through this quite straightforward. And I suppose okay, what I'll do first is I'll bring you to my actual production studio. Okay, so bear with me with this. This is where the fun begins, right? So now, here I am. I have all these techniques going in the backgrounds. You're using backgrounds. I'm using all sorts of technology, green screens and so on and so forth to get these processes up and running. Now, what I will do firstly is it. Oh, I should have done it back there. Let me go back to my introductory screen. Here we are again. I'm going to play this video for you. Hopefully you're able to see this. It's just an introduction about myself. And I literally did this morning, and it'll be going out to all my modules and up on YouTube. So sit back for 5 minutes and have a laugh, whatever, okay? Well, folks, what an entrance, okay? Always one for a bit of a laugh, as they say. So, this is just a brief introductory video of myself and who I am, where I came from, what I'm going to do. And by way of introduction, I will be using, obviously, a lot of technology, technology being my background. So I'm going to have a bit of fun and games over the next 12 weeks. So I'm Professor Mark Cashin, also known to my friends as Mark, and I'm just over 60 years of age, and I have been in the lecturing, should I say, career profession for the last almost 18 years, and prior to that I would have worked in the industry for 27 odd years directly with large multinational organizations and one or two medium-sized companies. And what brought me across to academia, there was an overlap between my working career and academia when I had been asked to come in and lecture on the AIT's MBA program. So where did it all begin? For me, it started back in my hometown Clonmel in County Tipperary, went to Waterford RTC, which is now WIT of course, and that's where I did cost and management accountancy. So I would be not fully qualified, but almost got there. And so for a number of years in my career, I worked as an assistant accountant in the food industry, food processing industry, and in telecommunications and IT. And that's where I pretty much settled down, or having worked with Ericsson and Technoman and Meteor, mobile operator. So in the late 80s did my degree with DCU in information technology management. Up to that point I'd been working primarily in accountancy, and I moved across into software engineering, software development, into testing, hardware design, and then moved into project management, business management in later years in Technoman, and which is now called Technotree. And did my MBA with Oxford Brookes in 2002, and went on did my PhD with Middlesex University, and I got my professorship with Uni Nettuno University in Rome. And what else can I say to you? Primarily a lot of experience. As I would say, I've been around the block a few times, and signs of it, and would hope to bring a lot of that experience into the classroom, into your respective modules over the next 12, 13, 14 weeks, whatever it takes. I know this is a bit of a challenging time with online, but for years I've been saying this is the way it will be going, and I'm relatively comfortable in this side of the camera at this stage. I'd want to be. And what else can I say to you? A lot of experience. We'll have a bit of fun, I would hope. Political correctness and me, no time for it at all. I curse and swear like a drunken sailor in a whorehouse. Not that I know many drunken sailors, or houses for that matter. And by the way, you will notice now that I do have a bit of a sense of humour, and you absolutely need it in these challenging times, to say the least. So listen, I hope that gives you a brief background as to who I am, and that we can start working now and getting through this. As I said, I'm here to help, and we'll get to the end of this, and hopefully we'll be graduating under normal circumstances in October of this year. Okay, folks, been a pleasure introducing myself. I hope if you have any questions, by all means, contact me on the usual email, or on my email, easiest way. And that's it, folks. Take it easy. Talk to you later. Bye bye. No more flashing lights, is there? No? Okay, that's good. Good. See, I've even got myself confused with my own technology. For heaven's sake, I will do. I'll use one of my remote cameras to show you what the setup here is. Oh, jeez, I mean, this started obviously last, and for me, it started last February. Um, I like to cycle, and that's my sport and pastime. And I was doing, I don't know if you're familiar with Zwift and all these things, if you cycle and all that, but it's one of these online platforms. It's like a gaming platform. So I became interested in what gamers were doing and how they were using technology and so on. So I said, wonder if I could use this for lecturing. And then, of course, as we all know, 14th of March came, bang, everything closed down. I said, right, now it's time to start learning. So from a very simple laptop setup, I built up my whole configuration around me, which as I said, I will show you in time. And I started teaching myself a lot more about video production and audio and so on, so on, so on. And made it extremely complex. And then I ripped it all apart and decided that how could I do this far more effectively, cost effectively as well, and simplify the whole thing. And I've reasonably well achieved that. You know, even tricks like, you see my background here. Obviously, it's a photograph that I've blurred slightly to give you the effect of depth of field and things like that. The camera I'm looking into now is a digital Canon camera, which I've found power supply and a piece of software which enables me to use it as a webcam and all this sort of stuff. It's great fun, you know. I've enjoyed the learning on this alone, and as you can see from the introductory video, all sorts of silly effects and so on and so forth. But look, it's part of the fun as well, you know. It can be boring otherwise. As you know, what I do start my lectures a little after the time, and pipe some music through from the channel. Now, sometimes I've left the music on, but there can be problems with that. Certainly with YouTube, you'll get copyright strikes and all that sort of. Well, you can, because most of this is protected, obviously. But anyway, apart from all that stuff, let's get on to some of what I wanted to cover. The most important thing: what have you got to do? I assume you've been into Moodle now at this stage. And obviously, because you found the link in there, so you got an idea of what my front page. Now, it's the same structure that I've used, you know, since I first started using Moodle. It works for me. It's easy. It has a sense of logic to it. But what I'm going to do, just bear with me now. I just need to share the screen with you, because obviously I'm looking at this. I need to. I can turn on Moodle here. Now it's recording on my screen. Let's share the screen with you guys first. Share the screen. Okay. So someone shout. Can you all see that there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I would be a little bit concerned about the quality of it. Again, Zoom isn't the greatest, but at least this has been recorded on the video. You won't see me because I'm behind the well, actually, can I do it this way? Yeah, I'm down at the side here. You can just see my hand moving at the side here, blah, blah. Anyway, what you've got here is obviously your module descriptor, and I'm going to go over to this screen and scroll down through it. This is your permanent link for all our meetings. It's a recording, no fixed time, which is good. Just by way of all our notes and presentations will be in here. Now, if I go in here, you will see quite a lot of stuff inside here. Do not print out, worry, panic about the volume of stuff inside here. I won't be using all of it, okay? And at the start of each of the lectures, I will state what particular PowerPoint slide I'm using. So that's why the recordings will be so important. So you only need to focus on that material, not everything, because some of the stuff is how to say, inherited from previous years. It's still relevant, but I don't want to use all of it, and particularly that, given that we're going to be online. But essentially, it's broken down into two main areas. You have project management, as you see here, and up above that you have the business modeling and business learning organizations. In terms of the business element of your module, I will be using what's known as the business model canvas. I don't know if you've come across it before, but it's just a nice, simple process for developing business cases. Now, why do I take that approach? It's because it gives you a good understanding of, for example, what entrepreneurship is, but more importantly, in an organization, you will be in a position where you have to make a proposal. Often we refer to these as a business case, and to be able to put that together in a logical, comprehensive manner. It underpins your project management skills. So the whole costing side of a project can be handled through this business model canvas as well. So it has multiple perspectives that are uses. Now, this has come to prominence in the last 10 or so years, maybe a little bit longer. But the reality of it, this has been around a lot longer than this. I mean, for heaven's sake, I've been using that during the 80s when I worked in Ericsson, and preparing project plans and so on and so on. So we were using a lot of the techniques inside in this business model canvas. And the guy that developed it, actually, Alex Osterwalder, he has a very similar background to myself. He worked in telecommunications as well, and he noted the processes that we were all using, and he just decided to write his PhD and said, well, maybe I could map those processes onto a generic business roadmap or model or technique or methodology to be able to develop our initial costs, requirements, competencies, resources, and so on. And that's all it was. It's really that simple. So as I said, it's been around for a number of years, but it's very, very powerful, and it gives us a benchmark or an anchor to be able to develop such business cases and so on. So that's the business model canvas. There are a number of small videos embedded in that I'll reference you to as we're going through it. Some of them I would use during our lectures over in the initial couple of weeks, and that's the contents of our course and so on. Now I'm just going back out of here. Come on, Moodle is a little bit slow. We do have assignments, but don't worry about those for a moment. This is probably of most interest to you, this whole section here. I'm not sure, yeah, you must be able to see my cursor flying around here. Good. So what you have is essentially 3 pieces of assessment. Okay. I just want to do something here now for a moment. Take Moodle and bring this down. Now, here I'm back again. Eureka, happy days. So what we have is inside in Moodle up here, we have what I call the individual assessment, which is BMC, Business Model Canvas. It's a very, very straightforward assessment, and it looks at learning organization. So in other words, how do we learn by using the Business Model Canvas? And I will show you some techniques that we pulled in from project management and what enables organizations to learn. Obviously individuals learn, but how do we share this information? And fundamentally, that's the kernel or the basics of my own PhD is knowledge management, and how we share knowledge and capture knowledge inside an organizations and all that sort of stuff. So we've organizations do learn. The sum of the whole is greater than the sum of the individual parts. You would have heard that expression. And all of us know stuff. Now, how do we get that stuff out so as other people can benefit from it? And that's where we can use this. One technique is using the business model canvas. So it's a very straightforward assignment. We'll talk about learning organizations and organization learning, the difference between them. And then, of course, we will have covered the business model canvas itself. And then we'll just merge the two of these to show how one complements the other. Okay, how business model canvas, how we're doing things in that methodology or in process, how that can actually help people to learn. And that's one of the very powerful aspects of the likes of this canvas approach. And then we will look at the project management side of things, and that's the 2 fundamentals of project management is how you monitor and control your projects. Okay, And all the rest is just process driven. The ongoing, how do you say, challenges of trying to keep a project in order, that it's on schedule, to the right quality, within budget at least. Now things go wrong. I mean, we do all this planning, and what we end up with is usually nothing near what we started out with. That's just life. Trust me, I've been around. So, the best laid plans go astray or go awry, whatever way you want to look at it. And that is the case even with projects. So there is no perfect project. There is no perfect project manager. There are always things happening. I mean, for example, who would have seen what was going to happen on the 14th of March last year and the impacts it was going to have across the globe, let alone individual industries and projects, and take the construction industry, everything closed down and so on and so on. So there's been all sorts of impacts. So that was one aspect. It could be anything that can cause an impact on your projects, and that's the job of a project manager, is to be able to monitor and control the project and be aware of all the things that are happening outside his organization, outside his project, even within his own organization or her organization. I don't want to be accused of inequalities and discrimination, not that I give a crap anyway. For the project manager, you have to be aware and keep the finger on the pulse as to what might be happening elsewhere that could have any kind of an impact on your project, and then how to motivate your team and keep the momentum going in the project. So this is what the monitoring and control, and we have techniques in there, and they're just simple. They're simple processes that we use to. One of my favorite is the earned value chart. It sounds horrific. It looks worse actually than it sounds. But when you break it down, and there are all these acronyms, EV, earned value, and basic costs and assumed costs and actual performance. And when you see them as abbreviations, say, "Oh, mother of God, what does all this mean?" But when you strip it back and you make sense of each of those little acronyms, say, that's what it is. It all comes together. Trust me on this. And then the final one then is a group project. Again, I've been using the same case study for a number of years. And the simplicity of it is I change some of the parameters in the case study each year. But, and this is only coincidental, it's about a lady who has recently completed her MBA, and she's working for a TV production company, Lemming TV, and she has been asked to project a project or develop a project. Some of the work is outsourced, some of it is done internally, and can she hit a deadline of for a particular series of programs, let's say, can she hit the deadline? So I give you all the data and I give you the script, and you just have to extract all this stuff. So we work in teams on that one. Now I will be coaching you and talking you through each of these. You won't be just given the here's your assignment, off you go. It won't be that simple and straightforward. And so don't worry about that. Is everything okay? Can you still all hear me? Yeah. Yeah, good. I'm just concerned on seeing a message coming up on my system here, but it seems to be okay. So that's what the three assignments are. The dates are not finite. They can change. And of course they were based on last year's calendar, so they will move probably a couple of days in probably out rather than in, but generally speaking, they're ballpark. And as I said, I'm relatively flexible as long as I get enough time to get the material in to have them graded before they go onto the official system. I'm reasonably lenient like that. I'll be shot for saying this, and I know I'm putting it down into recording, but I don't apply penalties for late submissions within reason, okay. And that's all being recorded. Oh my God! Now you have proof. Jesus. Anything you can say and do will be taken down in evidence or shown on video against you. Okay. So, before we go on, does anyone have any questions? Let me open the chat room. Let me see. Need my glasses to see where I'm going. Chats 3. Okay, I apologize now. I see someone saying that the volume has gone. Is it back again? Is volume okay?
Sorry. Yeah, that was ages ago.
Oh,
It's
it,
back.
oh yes, 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 yes. Yeah, I actually had my mic turned off while my other video was playing, so as it wouldn't loop back into the system, and so my mic is just out of shot, just up here, and it says here image blurry. Is that on the Moodle page? Is it still blurry? Okay,
It's okay
is,
now.
okay. Yeah. You might find issues, or with Zoom, but look, don't worry. The quality of the recording is far superior than Zoom. As I said, yeah, had a few of us been involved, we would have not been choosing Zoom. Anyway, that's a whole other political story, but not to worry. Is there anything else coming up on chat? No, I can't see. How many people do I actually have? Just bear with me. One minute. I'm still playing around on Moodle here. And of course, it's showing you all my other website pages up at the top. Wow, that's not good, Mark, is it? Is there anything weird or wonderful up there? No, no. It's all legitimate, legal, and above board. Okay, that's fine. I don't have my bank account details up there. No, I don't. Okay, where am I? So, how many people do we have? 16, include myself. So 15 or so people on Moodle. Good. Now, what I will do is over the course of the coming week, I'll have a look at the mix of people and so on and so forth, and start defining teams as such, and try to get the mix as even as possible. Oh yeah, what another very good. I include this every year in a number of modules. I actually take some of this material. Actually, some of this material is from my MBA program. I do well. We're not running it this year, but I used to teach innovation and project management, one module, and operations and supply chain management was the other module. And that's where when I mentioned in my introductory video, I just happened to be in AIT back in 2003. I had finished my own MBA, and they asked me would I come in and lecture on project management, and I said yeah, sure, because I had quite a number of years experience at that stage, and I also had taken it as an elective on my MBA. And the following semester, they said, Mark, do you know anything about operations management? And I said, I do. That was also my second elective. But more importantly, I'd worked in it in manufacturing when I was an assistant accountant and auditor and financial control, not controller, but in financial control and cost control. We introduced production lines in the meat industry and also in telecommunications, new telephone systems. So there were like mini projects where we had to do all our costings, plan the project and so on, so hence the business case. And that was when I was 23 years of age, 24 years of age, and quite a long time back. It's last century stuff. Don't get me started. Cassette tapes, black and white TV. All that crap. Jesus. Anyway, oh God Almighty. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm sure you'll find them on YouTube. Oh yeah, talk about being old. Anyway, where was I going with this? Yeah, one of the books that are I'd say strategists that I've used is, and our Chinese colleagues will recognize these, Song Tzu, and his Art of War. Okay, I usually have difficulty. Usually Chinese students are trying to figure out what I'm saying when I say Song Su, but that's how it's spelled. But why do I mention this? Is that's gone back, a couple of thousand years, as from memory, and he was a military strategist, and some of our English sayings, that don't fight the enemy on higher ground, for example, and know your enemy and all this sort of stuff. They're all military tactics and so on. And you'd see them in films and some of the Star Wars films. I'm a bit of a Star Trekky and Star Wars loon. But anyway, you hear some of these coming up, and all these expressions, and they're actually from this book, and it's the same in business. For example, if you want to know your market, know your enemy, know your market, and go out and find out about them, get as much information, send out spies, carry out surveys, blah blah blah, all this sort. So a lot of the teachings, and I think is it the Harvard MBA? I think it was their program. It's actually there are a number of MBA programs where it's actually required reading to go through this book. So there are variations of this. When I say variations, interpretations of this, and it's so I got my hands on. Now I do actually have the official books there somewhere in my library. Yeah, not to make a liar of myself. There you have one of them. Sun Tzu's Execution, which is not that book, but a variation of this. I have 2 or 3 versions of the book, but they make for really good reading, common sense approach to how you want to run businesses and so on and so forth. So it's there for your. So I uploaded the PDFs there just for your own benefit. For those occasions where you're in total lockdown and you're totally bored and say, "What can I do?" You can read. So anything else that I have that I need to inform you about? No, I think everything else is cool there. Right, I'm going to stop sharing the screen. Does anyone have any other questions on Moodle? I don't see. Stop sharing. Okay, and I can close my Moodle window. That's it there. And then I can do tricks like this and come back to you. So, this is the studio I will be using, and as you see me moving around the screen, and I'll have PowerPoint coming up and blah blah blah. I use PowerPoint obviously, and we'll discuss the topics there, occasional video clips and so on. And as I said, what you're actually seeing now will be recorded, and the same, and even if I do a pre-recorded version. Now, just looking at your timetable, let me see. I technically don't have you now until Thursday, isn't that so? So I only have you on Tuesday and Thursdays. And what I plan to do is for the Thursday sessions, I'm going to let you work on your own. First point. By that, you work with your on your assignments, but more importantly, on your teams for the teams. And we won't be doing it immediately. Once we settle in. What else? And occasionally, if I will release a video rather than having a direct online. So in other words, we not this week or next week, in a couple of weeks' time, once we've settled in, I will give you that time, that 1 hour session to work with your teams on your projects and so on. And I will release some pre-recorded videos for yourselves. Are you all happy with that arrangement? Or not?
Yes, of course.
If you're happy, just will you hit the thumbs up button down below so I can see if everyone is on the page there. The reactions, as they call them. Yeah. Okay. As I say, happy days. Yeah. Generally speaking, yeah. Okay, majority rules. everything is fine. So that's what we do on the Thursdays. Now, next Tuesday, you won't have me. Not live, anyway. I will hope to be still alive, but you won't have me live. I just have to go into hospital, a small operation. I have an issue with my knee, and I need to get that resolved. And it's keyhole surgery. I only visited the consultant yesterday, and he's booking me in for Tuesday morning. But never fear, technology is here. I will pre-record a lecture during this week, and I'll upload it to Moodle or upload it to YouTube, and I'll put the link in Moodle, and I'll have a separate section inside Moodle where all videos will have their direct links, and we'll put some logic to it, lecture 1, lecture 2, blah blah blah, that sort of stuff. And so I'll pre-record for you guys for next Tuesday. I've only 2 classes on Tuesday, yourselves, and then another class at 4 o'clock. So neither of those will I be able to take next Tuesday, and but that's fine. I'll be back in my hot seat on Wednesday. So that's the beauty about all this online stuff. Gives us a little bit more flexibility, thankfully. So, any questions? Comments? Insults?
Yeah, so that.
Yeah?
Yes. So we could free in next Tuesday. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah. You because I'll pre-record it and upload it to YouTube. You don't have to come online at 1 o'clock. You can look at video after that, or I might even have it up beforehand. But I can send you a message on Moodle to say Tuesday's lecture video is uploaded onto YouTube.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Can I take your YouTube channel?
I'll post that onto Moodle for you. I'll put the actual link. It's actually called Edulect Live. Let me type it in here, and you can see it on Messenger.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Yep, that's what should be the channel. It should be coming up on that. I'm still playing around with some of the configurations on that area, but yep, and your link will be into that, and I'll have a specific playlist for your module, so it'll have the correct title on it. So I'll have some kind of logic to everything as we're going forward. Is there anything else I need to cover with you now? No, I don't think so. Let me see. Where am I now? Okay, folks. I'm going to let you go, and I'll do one of my usual little tricks on my way out, and hopefully this will play for you. And yeah, we'll I'll listen out. Do you have any other questions or? No?
Not so far.
Not so far. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, folks, I'll let you go, and I'll play my outro. Some of this will be added onto the videos and all this sort of, just give you an idea of the lunacy in my mind.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I can't find the name on the YouTube.
You can't find it. I'll post it onto I'll be able to get the correct link from the channel, and I'll post it onto the Moodle site. Okay, and I'll just test it later on with the just that introduction video that I created that you saw for 4 or 5 minutes, and then that should work for you. Okay, folks, I'll let you go. You can have an early tea break or whatever, and we'll talk to you on Thursday. Alrighty.